One of the great stories of JSM-Langham preaching, which is one of the 3 programs, is out of Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo. This is a huge country where the church is growing rapidly. There are many millions of people, of course, in the country who are suffering deeply. It's a poor country. It's been in civil war. Our newspapers don't tell us, but 4 million people have died in that country. And church pastors are often facing enormous challenges, of course, in their work, in their counselling, in their pastoral ministry, and in their teaching. So JSM-Langham Preaching sent a small team to work with just 50 pastors from different parts of Congo. They met together for a week and did some training on how to understand and explain God's Word. And that's been repeated time and again with the same group over several years. And they, in turn, in different corners of Congo, have also started small groups. We call them preachers' clubs. And that's had a ripple effect, probably now reaching maybe 300 or more pastors around the country. They, in turn, of course, have many congregations which they're serving. So by just serving a small team of 50 pastors over several years, that's having its impact across the whole country in reaching thousands of believers in their congregations. And the aim is to try to encourage each of these pastors to handle the Bible well and to proclaim that faithfully and relevantly in their contexts. That in itself is a challenge. For example, in Congo, they do evangelistic projects. Maybe 200 people in a local community come to faith. But who's going to help them? Who's going to lead that church, pastor it, train it? So eventually, after a year or so, they identify someone who could help to lead that new group of 200 believers. But of course, he's had no training. They may have one Bible for the 200 people, maybe 1 or 2 Bibles. So equipping them with resources in terms of literature, maybe sometimes Bibles, with basic training in how to encourage that group of 200 believers is one of the efforts of JSM-Langham Preaching. I met with some of these pastors, and they had one Bible between them, so they actually tore it in 2. He said, well, you can preach from the Old Testament for this month, I'll preach from the New Testament, and then we'll swap. That's the kind of resource challenge they face. They often have to walk hundreds of kilometres in their pastoral duties, so we've provided them through gifts of some churches with bicycles, so that they can get around to meet the group. So at the very basic level of resources, they really are struggling. But the commitment and the passion to proclaim the word both evangelistically and in building up believers is very clear. So JSM-Langham is trying to meet those basic needs, serve small communities of leaders with this ripple effect, this benevolent virus which is taking root, infecting the whole country of the Democratic Republic of Congo, despite the enormous challenges of poverty and civil war.